stars. The Swedish, just like Matilda Djerf, don't give a damn. 2007, the official Swedish News and Current Affairs Review says that the future of Great Britain is in the hands of a drunk and a manipulative tart. Oh, this was Sunday, November 4th, 2007. Before the marriage, probably in the middle of the breakups and makeups. I think Willie dumped Kate 3 times, and she patiently waited, and we know what happened 13 years into that marriage. But according to the Swedes, just when we thought it was all over, when we were being encouraged by the sight of a maturing William Windsor getting on with his life, charting out his plans with the Army and Navy and taking on more royal duties, we were faced with the most unpalatable news that he had suffered a monumental relapse and had gone back to his self-destructive ways. Here was the prince once again stumbling, blind drunk, out of a nightclub, accompanied by his usual drinking partner and errant Smeck's buddy. Under such circumstances, the incredibly persistent, quote, publicity shy, yeah right, Kate Middleton. Men can sometimes be their own worst enemies, I tell you. Now, while it was obvious to anyone with 2 eyes and a functioning brain that the woman in question appears to have cornered the market in the tabloid stakes with the aid of some shrewd PR tactics, some of which have since backfired. Among other things, some routinely sycophantic reporters have been at pains to describe her as discreet. Every time she gets involved in William's plans, the world gets a blow-by-blow account. Demure, aka plunging necklines and bum-skimming skirts with fishnet stockings, are the order of the day, and an all-around victim and loather of public attention, even in the face of abundant evidence that she frequently and readily courts the press when it suits her single-minded agenda. Which begs the question, is William stupid? Or is his brain simply addled by the copious amounts of alcohol he consumes? I repeat, men can sometimes be their own worst enemies, because judging from the fevered crescendo of the rabid hack's predictions of impending marriage in the pro-Middleton tabs, his latest drunken antics may have been the biggest mistake he has made since he grew a pair and finally called time on the increasingly fractious relationship in March of this year. How many men have not sealed their fates by stumbling drunk out of bars with women they thought they had successfully offloaded? What? How many men have not sealed their fates by stumbling drunk out of bars with women they thought they had successfully offloaded? In the latest escapade, a ring that Middleton has sported for a good year was touted by tabloids as a firm sign of commitment, followed by the usual mentions of moving from strength to strength. It's a matter of when, not if, and various regurgitations of the predictions they were making exactly a year ago, before being left with egg on their faces after Easter this year. Although there were more skeptics this time around, the press still seems hell-bent on making this woman William's bride, whether he wants her to be or not. I wonder how many of them would be happy to force unwanted girlfriends down their own sons' throats. In the midst of this, they forget that Kate Middleton, far from being a victim of some heartless cad, is very much a willing participant in the soap opera this has become. She knows the score, and much more. More astute royal observers have noted that William, when accompanied by Middleton, usually appears to be either drunk or irritated. It is believed that it was a combination of these 2 conditions that led his press secretary to make an ill-advised complaint about harassment by the paparazzi outside the club, even though his companion's grinning demeanor showed that she was anything show even though his companion's grinning demeanor showed that she was anything but. There is still no word as to whether he was coerced into making the complaint or by whom, since footage showed that he was way too drunk to make any assessment of the situation at the time. What? Nevertheless, things appear to be getting back to normal, for although William has since gotten over his latest hangover and resumed royal duties, his on-off companion has fallen back into her old routine of frequenting paparazzi-haunted bars in London and smiling encouragingly at waiting photographers. She was last pictured cozying up to a bouncer on her way out of a particularly well-known paparazzi haunt, Mahiki. The hemlines are once again on the way up, possibly indicating that developments are once again winding down. As far as any hopes of rekindlement with William is concerned, we should be so lucky. Has it really come to this? Do the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth really want a king who appears to have a serious drinking problem and issues of judgment? Wow! As an American, I have never read or heard this kind of scathing critique of, I think, a lot of what is alleged, but that we see evidence of exactly what's being said here with our own eyeballs. You can repress all the stories about middle bum and the skirts and the short shorts and the see-through dresses, all those photos in the back of taxi cabs, Pippa standing around in nothing more than a brassiere. The evidence is there to suggest that these weren't demure girls drinking milk and reading the Bible in the library. They were very active operators in the London social scene, not unlike Rose Hanbury and her sister. They were models, but Kate and Pippa were allegedly scholarship recipients, and that's how they got into private school, to get close to their wallets. I mean, William and the giraffe, eventually their husbands. Maybe not their first picks, but certainly who they ended up with, allegedly, in my humble opinion, for entertainment and educational purposes only. Serious drinking problem and issues of judgment. Do they want a future queen who seems to revel in revealing nearly every inch of her body to the photographers she claims to loathe, while chatting them up when she thinks no one is watching? Do they want to have a queen consort who has not held down a job in the nearly 3 years since she graduated from university with a dubious degree in art history and has shown no interest in anything other than waiting around, putting out intermittently, oh my goodness, wait, and has shown no interest in anything other than waiting around, putting out intermittently, and scheming her way into a royal engagement? Woo! This article is not for the weak. I am gobsmacked. Sweden. Oh, we got to look much more closely at Swedish media, gossip, and journalism about the royal family in Great Britain, because this is painful truth. I'm reeling just reading this. It is said that the Queen is deeply unsettled by the prospect of William even considering bringing Middleton into her family, and feels that he could do better. This must be the understatement of the year. Ouch. Wow. Queen Elizabeth is not blind, nor are her family and friends and the people upon which the survival of the monarchy and their sense of privilege ultimately depends. Middleton would be the first woman to be allowed into the royal family after having so blatantly exploited her position as mistress to a member of the family to gain various goods and favors, the most obvious of them being a cut price Audi A3 car. Add to that the rumored freebies in the form of designer clothes and handbags, and a rather unsavory image emerges. And with that goes any remaining shred of respect for the woman in question. Oh my goodness. God help the British monarchy if she gets a foot in the door, given her insatiable desire for publicity and her dubious track record. And God help the monarchy if William ends up on the throne on current form. Biased press. William's behavior is no different from that of his younger brother Harry. Yet he is the one who is constantly praised, while his less than flattering exploits are ignored. This despite the fact that in many respects it is Harry who comes across as the more genuine and mature of the two, especially when one looks at his serious commitment to and obvious delight in participating in charitable activities, particularly those involving disadvantaged children. Similarly, William's professional PR, on-off mistress, plays a lazy media and is held up as one who can do no wrong, despite ample evidence to the contrary. While Harry's obviously more responsible, less affected, and clearly highly intelligent girlfriend at the time, Chelsea Davy, is constantly ripped to shreds by the same papers for the slightest of often fabricated infractions. It begs the simple question: what does Kate Middleton and or her family and or William have on the British media? And one could go on. On the basis of the evidence and an analysis of personalities involved, it would appear that Harry, being the more mature and engaging of the two, would be more aptly suited to shouldering the vast responsibilities that the position of future King of England would entail. The last thing people would need is another dithering, self-absorbed individual in the position. After Charles vacates the post, if he ever gets there, they will need a well-deserved break. William may have his mother's looks, but any similarities end there. Ooh-wee! This is painful to read. He is very much his father's son, and not in a positive way. Harry, on the other hand, has inherited his mother's natural sense of empathy and her common touch, as well as her sense of purpose. Let Harry take over for the good of the country and the Commonwealth, and put William out to pasture once and for all, together with the highly fragrant Kate Middleton. Comments. Anonymous says, hilarious and very true take on Prince William's dysfunctional and bizarre on-off relationship with Kate Middleton. Another anonymous adds, bravo. I am so happy that someone has finally said what many have been noticing for a long time now. I hope this blog makes its way around the world, and the UK press would have no choice but to confront what is going on directly in front of their faces. Another anonymous says, great article. I'm glad someone is able to see through Kate and William and all their drunken, immature garbage. Also, I like Harry and am also a big fan of Chelsea. Harry is very genuine and seems to care about people and enjoys doing charity work. Chelsea is smart, going to graduate school, doesn't get drunk every night, and clearly has some goals for her life other than marrying royalty. The same cannot be said by the jobless Kate, who gets drunk and on her knees on weeknights, and also is BFF with a super happy adult fun time organizer. The kind of adult get together one might have in Ibiza, in a group, late at night, adults only, if you get my meaning. Who is this person with a blanks organizer? Ooh. Oh my goodness. Sweden. Wow. Anonymous further adds, is this blog for real? Do we actually have an opinion blog like that published? At last, someone said what the majority thinks. William has proven so little, so poor, so bad. Harry has been overshadowing him both in private and in public. Well said. Don't be surprised William can't get any better woman. It's because he isn't a better man. He deserves this woman. From the recent interviews to the Diana concert and memorial service, Harry has come out as a man with guts and a real star, while William cannot stand up for his mother once, and he seems eager to support his role models, father and Camilla, while he can't say one good word for his dead mother publicly. My goodness. Another anonymous adds, if I knew the emoticons for standing ovation, I'd be typing them right now. Brilliant article. Absolutely brilliant. I too do not understand what the Medlingtons have on the British press. I mean, it's British tradition to make the air sound decent, no matter how clear it is to everyone else that the air isn't all that. But why the obsession with Lazy Kate? I just don't know. Another anonymous says, I give you cheer and applause for telling the clear truth about Kate Middleton and PR about Kate Middleton and Mr. Williams' drunken antics. Thank you for your honesty. Finally, someone is on to Miss Middleton and her social climbing family. Yes, it does seem Prince Harry has charmed and rose to the occasion at each public event, and that Prince William has seemed flustered in public. I hope one of the courtiers slips your blog in with the royal family's morning news. They need to hear the truth from some quarter, finally. Woo-wee! Well, stars, I'm going to need you to let me know what you think. I have to sit with this perspective and information. Again, 2007. They read Kate Middleton for filth. They read Prince William for filth and praised Prince Harry and his girlfriend at the time, Chelsea Davy, who really could not take all of the unfair meddling and criticism from the toxic British media, right? Do we see the trends that are ongoing until today? Wow. I'm going to have to read more Swedish news because this is juicy.